Have you ever asked yourself and you be like, wait, why didn't school teach us about money? Why didn't school teach us about saving, investing, making and growing our money and more other things about the real life? Yet we go to school so that it can prepare us to have the best careers, be the best employees, and a lot more other things. Well, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the life lessons that school did not teach us, yet they are very, very important in our day-to-day life. Hello and welcome to this platform. My name is Karungi Josephine and I'm so glad to have you here. If this is your first time, you are welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are a returning subscriber, you are welcome too, and thank you so much for coming back to watch this video. Yes, so when it comes to things that school does not teach us, like I have a big list. Why? Because the real life outside of school teaches you the hard way. Most things that school did not teach us, we're actually learning at our workplaces. Some of them we are learning from people. Like there are a lot of things that you just see and you're like, what? But I spent all these years in school and I didn't learn these things. Yes, it is very, very possible there are a lot of things that school does not teach you. And the very first one is actually the action mindset. Yes, no one prepares you for this, but truth is, when you're in school, there is a lot more of theory than practical. And yet, if you really want to succeed out there, you need to take more action. School has also prepared us to be perfectionists because we are looking out to have the best grades, we are looking out to have the best scores and all that. And you know what perfectionists do? They are overthinkers. They take a lot of time, like they think through a lot of things than actually taking the real action. So if you really want to succeed out there, you have to take more action than you overthinking. There is actually a saying that I love so much, which says that you are allowed to overthink as long as you are taking action. So this is something that school actually never prepared us for, that they gave us so much theory and very little practical. And then the other thing that school did actually teach us is that we are all different and we are good at different things and that we learn differently. Yes, you realize that there is a lot of uniformity when it comes to school. Like you're all aiming at a certain score, you're all aiming at a certain grade, and if you don't get it, that means you have failed. Truth is, we learn differently. Some people learn faster, others take time to actually understand, and it is very, very okay for you to realize that you are different. You are not like your neighbor, you're not like your sister, your mother, and all that, and you are good at different things. So discover something that you are good at, and that is what you should offer to the world. You realize that there are people who are good at business. There are people who are talented in music production. There are people who are good marketeers. There are a lot of things that people are good at. So find something that you are good at and, make sure that you do it at your best and deliver that to your world. The world needs your uniqueness. You are good at something, and that is what the world needs. And then another thing that school does not teach us is about the emotional management skills. Yes, you realize that school does not teach you how to manage your emotions. No. There are so many students who actually go through emotional challenges that they cannot even explain to their teachers. And to make it worse, some parents also don't mind about the emotions of their children. Yes, so that is something that you should actually focus on. Let me say, if you are a parent and you have a child who goes to school, their emotions are very, very important. Find out why your child is always angry. Find out why your child is throwing away things just, out of a blue. Please do not fear to share something that is challenging to a person that you trust, maybe your parents, or maybe a friend. Reach out to someone that can help you emotionally, that, can take away that emotional baggage that you have and make sure that you are not keeping these things all to yourself. So that is what school actually does not teach us about, that there are times you are going to be sad, there are times you're going to be angry, and how do you manage these emotions? How do you go about the times you are not happy? All these things we actually learn out of school, and most of the times we learn the hard way, maybe through a heartbreak, maybe through a certain challenge that you have gone through. All these things we actually learn the hard way and not from school. And then the other one is the financial management. Yes, now this is what I started with. So school does not teach us about money. It does not teach us about how to save. It does not teach us about how to invest. Well, it might teach us about how to make the money, but then after making that money, how do you spend it? How do you save it? How do you grow it? All these things you actually learn out of school. So it is upon you out there to actually take time and learn about your money, learn about how to save, learn about how to invest. What are the best investments? How do I grow my money to become wealthy and all that? How do I manage my money generally? Yes, so after having that money, how do you spend that money so that it can be able to help you live the life that you have always dreamt about? It's very funny that we all look at having a successful career, having a good house, having a good car, but how do you get all these things if you cannot manage your money very well? So always look at that as something that you should learn, even if school didn't actually teach you. These are things that you can learn. You can learn financial management, or else you can actually just invest in yourself. Go for a financial course, learn more about money and all that. There are so many financial coaches out there that can teach you about how to manage your money and be able to build the wealth that is going to last for years and years. Yes, so that is also something that school does not teach us. And then another thing that school does not teach us is about the good manners or the etiquettes of life. Yes, so you realize that most of the times good manners can take you places where your good grades or your PhDs cannot actually take you, or your qualifications. So if you have good manners, most of the times you are welcome everywhere you go. People have been chased out of interview offices because of bad manners. Yes, people have been chased in places where they have all the qualifications, but their manners do not align with the place where they have gone to work. So you realize that school does not actually teach us some of these things. If you're lucky enough, maybe you will learn from your home, maybe at a certain workplace they will teach you. So you realize that some of these things we learn the hard way. So school does not teach you some of these things. You are to learn them yourself. Learn the good manners, like learn how to behave when you're with people. Learn how to behave when you are talking to particular people. How do you talk to people? How do you dress? And all that. Are you a respectful person? So there are a lot more things that we learn when you're out of school. Yes, that school does not actually teach us. So take time to learn about the good manners. How do you, express yourself when you're talking to a respectable person or someone older than you? How do you dress when you're going for an interview? How do you talk? How do you eat? There are a lot more things about manners that we do not learn in school. It does not matter for you to be actually educated when you don't have good manners. Your education qualifications are for nothing. I've seen people who are well educated and they cannot be employed anywhere. They cannot even start a business for themselves. Why? Because of the etiquettes of life, the good manners. Another thing that we do not learn in school is actually tolerance. Yes, we are not taught how to let go of things that we cannot change in our lives. Yes, there are some things that you have no control over in your life. So there are some things that you have got to learn how to, be tolerant with. And that is a life skill that you need. There are some things that you just have to go by, because that is how life is. That we are not taught in school. So this is something that you are to learn by yourself. That it is okay if some things are not okay in your life. If you cannot change some things in your life, it is very, very okay. Leave it to the Almighty God, because He knows your plans. Another thing that we are not taught in school is actually the relationships. Yes, we are not taught how to care for our partners or maybe for our friends and all these things. We actually learn these things out of school. Yes, they teach us about the reproductive system, they teach us about sex and all these things, but they do not tell you how to handle your partner, how to handle, an argument in the right way, or how to talk to your partner the right way. There are so many educated people that you find they went to school, but they are going through a lot of challenges in their relationships. Some of them cannot even sustain these relationships for a long time, yet they are educated, like they went through school. School is supposed to prepare you for all these things, but it doesn't. So it is up to you to actually learn, how do I handle my partner? How do I handle an argument in a relationship? All these are things that you actually learn out of school. If you're lucky enough, you will learn from your parents. If you don't have parents, that means you're going to learn from the world, like the friends, or maybe your places of work and all that. All these things we actually learn outside of school. So it is up to you to take on this effort and learn. How do I handle an argument in a relationship? How do I talk to my partner? How do I keep my relationship thriving, or my marriage thriving the right way? All this, you are the one to learn. School does not teach us how to handle or to deal with failure. Yes, so you realize that when you're in school, they actually punish you for failing. Yes, they punish you for not reaching a certain grade, and that is not how it is in the world. If you do not fail when you are in the world, then how are you going to learn? Because most of the times, the only way you know that you are getting better is because you have failed, and now you're learning to do things better. And failure is okay, because it teaches you that you are not doing things right. You need to do it better. So when you fail at it, the second time that you are trying to do it, you're not going to fail. That means you have learned how to do it better. So do not beat yourself for failing. Failure only means that there is growth. Failure only means that you are learning and getting better at something. So it is okay to fail, because it helps you how to learn and to do things the better way. And then the other thing that school did not teach us is about setting our goals and planning for the future. Yes, at school they never taught us how to set our goals. Yes, they just taught us to get out of school, have a career, get your money, have a family and all these things, not realizing that it is very, very important for someone to have goals that you are working towards. Yes, so these are things that we are actually learning out of school. If they taught you this in your school, it is very, very good that you actually learned this thing. For us, we learned, like for me, I learned these things out of school. So setting your goals is something very, very crucial. If you're out there and you haven't taken time to sit down, think through, about your life, and then set out goals, like write down the things that you want to achieve, and then start taking action and working towards those things. We do not just live life, but we live life because there are things that we want to achieve. Like there are things that we want God to bless us, for. As you are praying, what are you praying for? As you're working, what are you working for? You are not just going to this workplace over and over again. You have a particular goal that you would like to hit, that you are working upon. So you don't live life blindly. Live life knowing that I'm working for this particular thing and I would like to achieve it. And how are you going to achieve it? Sit down, strategize, and then have an action plan towards this thing that you would like to achieve. Yes, those are all things that they don't actually teach us in school. If there are more life lessons that I've actually left out, kindly let me know down in the comment section. I'll be so glad to also learn from you. Yes, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video.